To me, my X-Men! In this video, let's look at two of my older Marvel Legends customs that I did back in the day. So let's talk about Vampire, Old Man Logan, and Sunfire on TAKTAK Toys With Film. Yes, you heard right. Vampire, Old Man Logan, and Sunfire. So back before I customised G.I. Joe classified action figures, I used to customise Marvel Legends. And I was going through some old storage boxes, and I found two of the older Marvel Legends that I've made, which was custom Vampire, Old Man Logan, and Sunfire. I've found more and I'll be doing videos on those, so stay tuned on the channel for that. So my take on Old Man Logan is that he's a vampire from an alternate future Marvel universe where Logan Wolverine has grown to old age after tragic events in the modern superhero era. That's basically the storyline of Old Man Logan. My Vampire Old Man Logan is from an alternate reality to that that's even more nightmarish. So in the Old Man Logan storyline, the supervillains essentially team up using new methods to kill most of the superhero communities, and Logan in old age is one of the last remaining superheroes. It's a very Mad Max superhero western storytelling style by Frank Miller. And yeah, so here's my take on it, and also my take on Sunfire, from Another Reality. There is also an Old Man Hawkeye, which came in a 2-pack with Old Man Logan in Marvel Legends form, but this is the first version. So I wanted to do something a bit different with my duplicate Marvel Legends Old Man Logan and my Sunfire. So that's what I've done essentially. I try and make my own designs of characters, because Hasbro's never going to make these, but they will make almost 95 to 90% of all characters that are in comics. So I thought I'd make my own versions. Yeah, so why not? And here's obviously Old Man Logan about to face off against Weapon X. Let's try and keep them apart for as long as possible. And I guess we're going to go and have a look at the customs a bit more. Obviously, we're going to get into articulation, all that kind of thing. But here is Vampire Old Man Logan ready for battle. Yeah, sort of, but yeah, sort of standing there ready for battle. And I use Citadel paints to paint him up. The same method that I always do. I sort of Dremel all the joints so that there'll be no paint rub. Then apply a few layers of primer, and then yeah, apply Citadel paints. I have started to use Vallejo paints recently. They're very good as well. But yeah, again, here's the two characters on display. This is Sunfire. What I've done with Sunfire is I used Milliput initially to sort of create heat vents on all his armor on the costume. So obviously, if he's powering up with his heat-based powers or sort of nuclear fire-based powers or sun-based powers, whatever they are, he can use these vents to regulate the heat on his body. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the look at these two customs. I'm going to go through them in much more detail, but if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the like button and feel free to comment and subscribe below. Do you have any customs in your collection? Do you make your own customs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So yeah, I've been making customs for many years. I can't even remember when I first started really, but it was a long time ago. These two customs come way back, sort of probably the mid 2010s, I guess, when they were released, probably around 2017, something like that. But as I say, I pulled them out of a box and I thought I'd do a video on them. Thought it'd be something a bit different to all my G.I. Joe classified customs. I'm working on a current one which is coming up in a video soon. But let's go through the articulation. Here's Vampire Old Man Logan at first. And obviously the head can look up and down as shown there. Can go side to side, and in fact can go in a 360-degree motion, which I'll show now. Yeah, there you go. It goes all the way around. Obviously the arms go up 90 degrees. You've got 360-degree rotation at the shoulder rotation. You've got double jointed elbows, which are being shown off there. There you go. Full wrist rotation in 360-degree motion. Old Man Logan doesn't actually come with interchangeable hands, so he's only got the claws out, whereas obviously some more modern figures do. As you can see there at the waist, you've got full waist swivel and ab crunch. Again, the arm comes out 90 degrees, full rotation at the shoulder, double jointed elbows and wrist rotation on the other side as well, standard for a Marvel Legends figure or a modern Marvel Legends figure. Obviously, yep, you can see the waist articulation again on show. Ab crunch and thigh cut. Sorry, ab crunch and yeah, and waist swivel. There's the thigh cut, double jointed knees, as you can see there. Thigh cut on either side. Yep, there you go. Thigh cut in use again. Double jointed knees, And obviously you've got ankle articulation, a bit of ankle articulation at the bottom. So the standard articulation you can expect on a Marvel Legends figure. And here he is sort of posed up and ready for battle. So he's ready to take on whatever's thrown at him. But I was really pleased with this paint job. I did come up with this paint sort of scheme from scratch. The more experienced I got with making customs, the more I was able to kind of come up with paint schemes for customs from scratch. Initially I had to use concept art, you know, that I'd find on Google or the internet to help me, but the better I got at it, the more I could pull it off from scratch. So yeah, looks like we can't keep Vampire Old Man Logan and Weapon X apart from scrapping one another. And here's Sunfire, and as I say, Sunfire was designed in the same kind of way. As I say, I use Milliput to create sort of armour and vents all over his body to sort of, you know, regulate his heating powers, or his sort of nuclear heat powers. We're going to go through the articulation on this figure in a minute, and here we go. Head can look up and down, as you expect. Head can look side to side, but the armour I've sculpted on the shoulders, which has obviously gone hard, will limit the articulation a little bit. It is air drying Milliput, so after you leave it sort of, you know, in the air, it will sort of go hard. Arms go at 90 degrees. As you can see, they've got you've got butterfly joints. You've got full rotation at the elbow, double jointed elbows. Sorry, 360 degree wrist rotation. Full shoulder rotation and double jointed elbows. He comes with a heat effect, or sort of his power effect, which I've fully repainted, as you can see here. There is two of them. I've just misplaced the other one. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere out and about. But yeah, so as you can see, the arms rotate fully, as you'd expect. You've got a waist crunch. Yeah, there you go. Waist swivel. Wrist swivel. Sorry, and waist. Yeah, waist crunch, and then waist rotation. Full waist rotation. 360 degree motion. Yeah, as you'd expect, thigh cut, which I'm going to be showing off there. Double jointed knees. A sort of boot cut, as you call it, which is, yeah, being shown off there, and ankle articulation. And then here's the other side again with the same kind of thing: double jointed knees, boot cut, ankle articulation, and obviously a thigh cut, as you expect on any modern Marvel Legends standard figure. And here's Sunfire posed up and ready for battle, with his, you know, to join alongside his X-Men sort of allies and colleagues from either an alternate reality or the 616 universe. And here's a shot of all the X-Men together. Various X-Men, I'll talk about them in more detail later in the video. Again, here's Vampire Old Man Logan and Sunfire. We're sort of exploring the 616 universe, or maybe a parallel reality. Who knows? But again, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Feel free to comment and subscribe what your thoughts are. You know, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And let's do some size comparisons. So here's Vampire Old Man Logan next to Outback Rogue, a newly released Marvel Legends. And it's a great body, the Outback Rogue, you know, really great female buck. But as you can see, Old Man Vampire Logan is sort of the standard kind of Wolverine Marvel Legends size of figure. So there we go, you can see the two of them side by side. Here's Sunfire next to Outback Rogue, and they're kind of more or less sort of similar size, as you expect, standard Marvel Legends size of, you know, 1/12 scale. So there's two of them next to one another. And yeah, you know, I'm quite happy with the paint jobs I do. They obviously don't look exactly the same as the factory made on my customs, but I'm quite happy with the paint jobs that come up. Here's Sunfire next to Vulcan, one of the newly released. Oh, sold too much of Vulcan. There we go. Let's stand him up again and see if he can take part in this comparison. So here's Vulcan next to Sunfire. So again, two great bucks. Obviously the Sunfire mould is a great body mould, and the Vulcan body mould being the standard, the new sort of Bucky cap body mould for 2023 and beyond. But here's them lined up next to one another, and here's Vulcan next to Vampire Logan, or Vampire Old Man Logan. So again, as you can see, Vampire Old Man Logan is sort of the Marvel Legends Wolverine scale, which is obviously a bit shorter than your standard 6-inch figure, as you'd expect, because Wolverine is sort of a shorter character and is a bit shorter than sort of standard figures. And moving away from the X-Men family, let's have a look at Black Suit Costume Spider-Man on the retro Spider-Man body next to Vampire Old Man Logan. And here he is. So, yep, here's both of them next to one another. And sort of Vampire Old Man Logan is eyeing up Black Suit Retro Spider-Man. And, yeah, here they are next to one another. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we've had new Spider-Men since then as well. But the Retro Spider-Man's a great sort of figure still. And you can still fairly pick him up at a reasonable kind of price, at least here in the UK anyway. And moving on from Vampire Old Man Logan, we'll see Sunfire next to Black Suit Spider-Man, and there we go. And yeah, you know, both kind of standard Marvel Legends 1/12 scale or 6-inch size. And that's my custom sort of painted up next to Black Suit Spider-Man. Obviously the paint jobs are slightly different. My customs do have a slightly different paint job to your standard Marvel Legend figure, but that's sort of, you know, my customs next to a range of Marvel Legend figures. And stay tuned because more comparisons to come. And for great places to purchase and pre-order action figures, you can check out Props and Replicas, who should soon be stocking Valaverse Action Force in the UK. You can also check out Comics and Cocktails, and here's the logo for that. And speaking of Valaverse Action Force, you can check out valaverse.com with international shipping for all your Action Force needs and for any exclusives you may want to pick up from Valaverse. So link for that will be in the comments below, as will all these online UK independent retailers. You can also check out the whole shebang. Why not check out all the cool stuff? You can also check out Kapow Toys, and you can check out Gobsmack Comics, and you can check out Star Action Figures, and here's the logo for Star Action Figures coming up now. Star Action Figures will be stocking G.I. Joe Classified soon at retail prices. And finally, you can check out In Demand Toys. And as I mentioned, links for everything will be in the comments below. And Deadpool agrees with me. Great places to check out. And for all the latest film and TV reviews, check out Film and TV Review YouTube channel. Link for that will be in the comments below. So again, here are my two customs shown off in all their glory. And let's do some more comparisons. So here's Marvel Legends Hugh Jackman next to Vampire Old Man Logan. So as you can see, obviously Hugh Jackman was quite a bit bigger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was probably around the 6 foot height, or maybe a bit bigger. Yeah, and here he is next to comic Vampire Old Man Logan. So there's quite a difference in height, but you know, traditionally Wolverine is sort of a smaller character. Here's Hugh Jackman next to Sunfire, and as you can see, they sort of stack up in height, probably a bit, you know, a bit bigger, a bit more same size. Did you enjoy Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the sort of cinematic universe? I don't think there's anyone who didn't, to be honest. He was almost the perfect portrayal of Wolverine, despite not being technically comic book accurate in terms of height and everything. Fans still adored him. Anyway, moving on from Hugh Jackman, we're looking at Domino from the Deadpool films. So let's start off with Sunfire first. Here's Domino next to my Sunfire custom, and as you can see, they kind of scale up about the same in height, you know, but both 1/12 scale 6-inch figures. So my custom would fit into any collection were he available for sale. They're not actually available for sale, but obviously it's all too much for me as well. The camera's taking a bit of a dive there, but yeah, I thought Domino brings good luck, but that was obviously a bit of bad luck for the video. And here's Vampire Old Man Logan next to Domino. So yeah, so again, Old Man Logan sort of does scale a bit shorter than your standard Marvel Legends figure, but here we go. That's what they look like, sort of next to one another. So that's how they scale in sort of your Xmen Marvel Legends collection, I should say. And moving from movie figures, let's move back to comic book, and let's pit Vampire Old Man Logan against Lady Deathstrike of the Reavers. So this review may not last too long. They're about to start scrapping with one another, just like Weapon X. Don't think I can keep these two apart for much longer. But as you can see, Lady Deathstrike is a bit of a shorter figure, actually. She does come up as a bit of a shorter figure, but more or less sort of not too different in height comparisons. I've obviously posed them up a bit here. Like they're just sort of on the verge of sort of sparring partners or ready for combat. And let's move from Vampire Old Man Logan over to Sunfire, and we're going to do that now. You'll see Sunfire up with Lady Deathstrike compared with Lady Deathstrike, and yeah, sort of same kind of height more or less. But here you go. I mean, yeah, Sunfire, like Lady Deathstrike. Lady Deathstrike is sort of an X-Men villain, you know, with the Reavers. The Reavers are kind of cyborgs who particularly Wolverine. They're quite sort of commonly Wolverine villains as much as they are X-Men villains. But Sunfire is kind of a side supporting X-Men character, and Lady Deathstrike is probably a supporting, X-Men villain. So, yeah, there you go. There's kind of like, if you want to expand your X-Men roster, either in villains or heroes, either two of these figures would make a great additions to your collection. And speaking of Marvel Legends and collections, we can look at some great YouTube channels to look at in terms of action figures, and in particular Marvel Legends. We can look at Dan Who Reviews. Check out Legends and Liquor, Turtles and Tea, and Joe's and Juice, which I'm on. So you can check that out on Dan Who Reviews. And here's the Dan Who Blue Beast being shown off. And you can check out his live streams with Rich M every week. For action figure reviews in the UK, check out Jay's Toy Collection UK. For action figure reviews stateside, check out the Wolfpack Toy Review. For action figure reviews in Ireland, check out Brian's Action Figure Reviews. Check out Dante and the Infinity Equation. For all things Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions and more, you can check out Trevor the 1/6 Shooter. Check out the 3POA podcast. And you can also check out Austin the Hero of Collectors, and links for all those YouTube channels will be in the comments below. And finally, or maybe not finally, but coming to the end now of our comparisons, here is Weapon X Wolverine by Barry Windsor Smith, created in the 1980s. Is meant to be one of Wolverine's first appearances. Here he is next to Sunfire. So as you can see, Wolverine is Marvel Legends Wolverines are kind of smaller in height than your standard 6-inch figure, but here's Weapon X Wolverine. Yeah, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Weapon X. Had the original Toy Biz figure in the 5-inch line. Here's Weapon X next to Vampire Old Man Logan. If looks could kill, Vampire Old Man Logan is giving him a dirty look or two, so looks like they're going to be scrapping soon enough if we don't keep them apart. But as I say, I know that probably in every person's collection who has Marvel Legends, there's a few Marvel Legends that are nostalgic either to Toy Biz figures they may have had, either Toy Biz Marvel Legends or the Toy Biz Marvel figures. Weapon X happens to be one of mine. I had the Toy Biz Marvel figure before Marvel Legends in the mid 1990s, so it's great to have an updated version in Marvel Legends form. And if I'm not careful, these two are going to go at it. They're giving each other looks. We're going to have Berserker Fury all over the screen. Yeah, it looks like they're about to scrap, so I better try and cut to the chase with this review. It looks like these two are going to cut to the chase if given half a chance. But here they are, posed up, almost ready for battle with one another. And it's too late. Can't stop it. Here we go. They're scrapping before you know it. But yeah, here they are, sort of posed up in battle royale situation. And while we let them sort of take chunks out of one another, I just want to say thanks as always for watching. Your support does help make these videos possible. I'm going to leave you with one final treat before obviously exiting the video, and that is a few more pictures of obviously Vampire Old Man Logan scrapping with Weapon X, and then finally after that a group shot that we did see earlier in the video, but kind of a group shot of Vampire Old Man Logan and Sunfire alongside of various other Marvel Legends X-Men. And let's go to that group shot now, and here we go. So yeah, starting off with obviously Hugh Jackman Wolverine, there's Weapon X, there's Domino from the movie Deadpool. Speaking of Deadpool, there's comic Deadpool. There's my two customs, Vampire Logan and Sunfire. And finally, there's Outback Rogue. And we're going to sort of pan out, see them all over again. There we go. Sort of a shot with them all sort of posed up and ready for battle. Sort of you thrown together X-Men team from various universes, ready to sort of combat any sort of threat that comes their way. But yeah, that's two of my Marvel Legends sort of customs from back in the day. Thought I'd do a video. I found them in a box while I'm sort of like, rearranging my collection. Thought I'd do a video, and thought I'd include them in the video. I had done a previous YouTube channel, and I'd included Vampire Old Man Logan on that YouTube channel. But yeah, this is my sort of returning to those two customs I did a while back. If you want any tips or advice on customs or how to get started, feel free to message me down below. I'm very approachable. I'm more than happy to give you any advice and help on how I go about doing it. Any tips I can give you, more than happy to help. Or even if you've inspired by this video to make customs of your own, that's good news to me. But obviously, Thanks for watching, as always. And Deadpool would like to remind us to make sure that we all enjoy those flicks and figs.